All right, so the holidays are finally here. Christmas is in a month. Thanksgiving is in a couple days. So that means that all the work for our summer bodies should slow down. We should eat all the food that we can. We should stop working so hard and just bundle up and get fat, right? 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 Not quite. Let's talk about it. Guys, thanks for clicking on today's video. I've been a little bit busy, so I haven't put out a video in a little while. It's been a couple weeks, but the holidays are here. I have to get this video out before Thanksgiving in a couple days, so let's talk about it. So today I want to touch a bit on fitness goals, dieting, and not sabotaging your entire workout routine or your diet plan during the holidays. So it's known, obviously, everyone knows that the holidays are about a few things in particular: family, friends, parties, Christmas movies, Christmas music, Christmas caroling, Michael Bolton commercials. Oh, that snow's falling down, baby. My love is calling your name. And food, of course. Food is one of the primary things that the holidays are about. Honestly, you can't get away from it. Whether you're at work, whether you're at school, whether you are with friends, every holiday party that you go to, being at home with your family during the parties, a lot of this is about food, and it's just a culture that we built up around the holiday time. In a way, we almost can't escape food during the holidays. So if you're someone who's worrying about these things and worrying about ruining everything that you've done so far, first of all, you need to know that you're not alone. It's bad for everyone. Food during the holidays is something it's just been hardwired in our culture. It's something that we do around this time, the 6 weeks that the holidays are. Food is a really big part of it, so you're not to blame if you're someone who's struggling with this or someone who really wants to know or isn't quite sure how to go about it, and you're not alone if you want to eat all the food that's in front of you, honestly. But if you are in this situation, of course, eating all these foods and stuff like this, or just even thinking about it, it can leave a really bad taste in your mouth. Get it? You're probably worried about overeating, kind of losing sight of your goals, maybe not going to the gym as much, eating all the bad foods and all the desserts that you can see. And first of all, the first thing that you need to do is slow down. Take a chill pill. I've been there. I'm sure everyone's been there. You have to realize that you're human during these times, and it's not normal for you to just completely restrict all the foods that you see in front of you during the holidays. You can't really help it. It's around you wherever you go. It's gonna be on the dinner table as soon as Thanksgiving hits. It's gonna be in your fridge for the next couple of weeks. And then boom, December hits. It's Christmas time, you've got family over, you've got food everywhere. It's gonna be really hard for you to try and just not eat these foods at all. So you have to be very realistic with yourself and realize that you're human and that trying to do so is probably not gonna happen. Instead, you should be realistic with yourself and realize and know that you're not gonna sabotage your entire diet just from eating bad for a day or two, and then in a couple days eating bad again, and then when Christmas comes, maybe eating bad during that week. That's not gonna happen. It took months and years for that weight to come off of you if you've been losing weight so far. So you have to realize that all of your progress is not gonna be lost just from having a few bad meals here and there, and you're not gonna gain all your weight back in a day or two from eating poorly one time. In fact, worrying and trying to restrict yourself so much during this time period can actually be way more unhealthy for you than just allowing for yourself to have a few meals here and there and really enjoy yourself. A little story, last year, I work in retail, so of course we're open during Black Friday. We're even open on Thanksgiving. So last year during this time, I had lost about 70 pounds or so during that time period from the beginning of when I started, and I was really strict on myself. I don't think I had a cheat meal for about a few months. And then Thanksgiving rolled around, and of course we're at work and there's food everywhere on the table and the break room, and I'm really trying not to eat that food. I had a small plate of just some salad or a sandwich or something like that. I really restricted myself because I was so hard on myself during that time, and I didn't realize the damage that I was doing to myself by not allowing myself to have a few meals or something like that here and there. So during this time period, during that Thanksgiving last year, I did not eat anything at work. You know, you got everyone around you that's eating all this Thanksgiving food and being happy, and I wasn't not happy, but I would have loved a plate or something from there. So, like I said, I restricted myself, I held myself back, I didn't eat any of that stuff there. But then I went home later that day, or the following day actually, because we were there pretty late. I don't think I ate anything when I came home, but the following day, we're home and there's food everywhere, of course, and I'm still trying to restrict myself, but instead I couldn't, and I ended up grabbing like a huge plate of just whatever I saw in the fridge, and I downed it in my room, and then I grabbed some more later. And because I had done that, in an hour or so, I felt so bad about it. I was beating myself up about it because I told myself I wasn't gonna eat that food. I felt like crap. I felt like I betrayed myself, and really like I went back on everything that I was saying. So I felt like I let myself down, and that really wasn't healthy for me during that time period. It took me a few days to get over it. So it's really bad for you to try and tell yourself that you're not gonna do things like this. And then obviously during this time period, you've got 6 weeks, something like that the holidays are. You're not just gonna not eat any of the food that's there. So once you do that, it's gonna be kind of hard for you to get over it. Now, this could have been avoided easily if I had just realized and allowed for myself and told myself that I was gonna ease up and have a little bit of the food, because then I wouldn't feel like I like betrayed myself, and I would have been able to eat whatever because I wouldn't have felt bad about doing it. I already had it in my plan. I would have already known that I was gonna eat a little poorly during this time period. It was kind of in the beginning of my fitness journey. I was only about 7 months into it maybe, so I wasn't as educated as I am now about it, and I thought that like restricting myself all the time would be the best thing for me, and I've recently realized that that's not okay, and it leads to, you might be able to withstand it for a little while, but further down the line you just really kind of develop a bad relationship with food, or an even worse relationship with food than what you had before, because you're so used to restricting yourself. That's why when people ask me about like what should I eat now, I let them know that you can eat all the good foods that are a little lower in calories so that you have more for your day. But if you are having a craving here and there, even if it's not the holiday time, if you're having a craving, you should allow for yourself to have just a little bit of it, maybe once a day, a couple times a week, depending on how strict you want to be on yourself. But anything is better than just not eating that stuff at all, because after a long while, it just really messes you up. Now, I ate poorly that day, that following day after. I think I ate poorly again like the next day just because the food was in the house. And then probably like a month or so after, with Christmas time, I think I had like a couple meals of like just holiday food, like huge plates like we usually do during that time. And it didn't ruin my progress. Like I said, at that point I had already lost about 70 pounds. I think I did put maybe 2 or 3 pounds back on, but that was just from eating all the sodium and stuff. But when you're eating foods that are more than what you usually eat, if you do overeat a little bit or eat foods like that during the holidays, like the ham and macaroni and cheese and stuff like that, has a lot of sodium. So that sodium is going to hold a lot of the water weight within you, and it's going to make the scale seem a little bit higher than what it should be, just because that water retention is so much higher than usual if you are eating a little bit healthier right now. So I moved on from that. During that time period last year, I had some bad food here and there, or like overate, I should say, here and there, and it didn't ruin anything. I had lost 60 pounds since then, so obviously it didn't ruin my fitness goals. It didn't ruin all the weight that I had lost since then. It's okay if you allow for yourself to have a few meals here and there and really enjoy yourself during the holidays, because it's what normal people do. It's what humans do. It's okay if you allow yourself to do these things. Now, having said all this, of course, you shouldn't allow for it to completely ruin and sabotage your entire diet plan, or your entire like fitness goals, everything that you've been working for, in a different sense. Meaning you shouldn't allow for it to leak over into the following weeks and months after that, and you shouldn't let it ruin like what your path straight ahead should be the entire time. You don't want to build a bad habit or regain old habits by eating poorly every single day during that time period, because that'll really ruin everything that you've done. You know, it's okay to eat like that on Thanksgiving, maybe you've got Friendsgiving a little bit before or after Thanksgiving. You're at holiday parties, you have family over, things like that. But on those days that you're not celebrating anything and you're not being joyous and all that stuff, you do have to remember everything that you're trying to work for and not let it ruin everything that you have worked for in the past. You have to find that middle ground and understand that it's okay to take a few steps back, take a break, maybe take a chill, relax and rest yourself. But if you get off of that path, that's where it's really hard to get back on. We all know how hard it is to start back up. You know how hard it was for you to start your fitness goals right now and really like the rhythm that you're in right now. So you don't want to go back and try to get off of that path, because that's where it's going to be really hard for you. If you destroy the foundation of what you built, then you're never going to be able to get back on, or it's going to take that much longer to get back on, instead of maybe just relaxing and taking a step back. So don't eat like an asshole the entire 6 weeks during the holiday period, but allow for yourself to enjoy yourself too. One last thing that's super important to talk about during this time period is, I know you're gonna have friends over, you're gonna have family over, you're gonna have parties and stuff to do during this time period. It's gonna be holidays, it's gonna be cold out, snowy, you may not wanna go outside, do anything, but you have to remain in the gym if you've started, or if you haven't started, you have to get in the gym. It's okay to take a few days off from your diet if you're gonna eat poorly because you've got parties and stuff, but you definitely don't want to step off the track that you're on if you're getting in the gym and staying active, because I think that's actually one of the hardest things to do. You know, dieting, it's just picking something over another thing. Getting to the gym, I myself still have a hard time getting to the gym sometimes. It's really hard to find that motivation to get up and go. So if I knew that I would take a week or two off from the gym, I can't imagine. I probably wouldn't ever go back to the gym again, just because of how hard it is for us to get back on that track, get up, put our gym shoes on, go and actually be at the gym. So you definitely don't want to take any time off from the gym, maybe a day or two less than what you're doing before, because obviously you're going to be super busy during this time, but taking like 2-3 weeks or the entire holiday period off from the gym because you're busy, that's not going to fly, and that's a way to really fall off the track. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for today's video. If you are worried about Thanksgiving and the holidays, just know that you're okay. It's regular, everyone's going to be worrying about it. It's super normal for you to overeat and enjoy yourself during this time period. It's going to be really unhealthy if you try not to in any other way. So if you guys enjoyed this video, first of all, thanks for clicking on it, but definitely click the subscribe button down below, share it, comment on it, leave your reactions, all that good stuff down in the comments below. And yeah, go get fat, guys. All right.